So Trevor Zegras is finally on the move. Who are we going to talk about this with? I'll tell you who. Our special guest in studio. It's Craig Button, our director of scouting. Craig, you're here in studio.
Well, I mean, Trevor Zegras is on the move.
Yes.
So are you.
That's right. I'm on the move over here to the other side of the expansive Studio 9. Seems like Trevor Zegras has been on the trade block for a long time, maybe even a couple of years. So why do you think Pat Verbeek, GM of the Ducks, decided, all right, now's the time to move him? And why do you think the Flyers are a good fit?
Well, I'll start with Pat Verbeek and the Anaheim Ducks. When Pat came in as general manager, you know, Trevor was in a different place in terms of his play. He'd been so good, then trying to find that form. But Greg Cronin, the head coach, I think did a lot of strong work with Trevor Zegras to get his game more well-rounded. We know what kind of skill he has. We know he's a great, imaginative and with lots of creativity type of player. And the highlights show that, right?
Absolutely.
But I think that Trevor really has worked on rounding out his game. But at the same time, you look at your young group of forwards, you look at your young group of players, and I think Pat Verbeek started to look and said, okay, this may not be the ideal fit for our team with Trevor and for Trevor to be with our group. And so now you look at opportunities where you can give him a chance to go elsewhere. And I think for Trevor, it's a good fit to go to the Philadelphia Flyers. He's got high-end skill. And I think the fact that he's moved his game forward will really help him and, most importantly, help the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, the one thing that I'm always cautious of from my own experience is Marc Savard. I had Marc Savard in Calgary, and there was some friction between the coach and Marc Savard, and ultimately it's the manager's job to make sure that whatever friction is there, you can smooth it out.
Yeah.
I didn't do a very good job of that, and then I made a terrible trade. Scotty Bowman told me, he says, hard to trade really good top-end skill guys, especially young guys like Marc. Marc went to Atlanta, then he went to Boston. We know what he did after leaving Calgary. I think Trevor Zegras has the same opportunity to do that in Philadelphia.
And gets to play with his buddy Jamie Drysdale, which I know he'll be excited about. I wanted to ask you about another player whose name is surfacing in trade rumors, and that is Jason Robertson, which might be surprising to some people. Pierre LeBrun reporting over the weekend. It's not that the the Stars. It's not like the Stars are actively shopping him, but they're trying to see what the market might be for Jason Robertson. 35 goals and 80 points last season. He'll be restricted free agent after this season. He's only 25. He scores at a high clip. How do you feel? Speaking of trading good young players, same philosophy as the Marc Savard thing?
Well, I mean, I love when teams go, we're not shopping them. Well, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
You are shopping them.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out if there's a buyer out there that will satisfy your wants and your asking price. That's what you're doing. So let's stop with the semantics. They're shopping them.
Right.
Now, if I'm a team and I'm hearing about Jason Robertson being available, I'm phoning Jim Nill every day. 25 years old, a very productive player, adds a lot to your team in so many different areas. I'm all over that one. I'm going to make Jim Nill say yes to me.
Right.
Because I think that players like Jason Robertson are very unique. You watch where the Dallas Stars find themselves right now. They just traded Mason Marchment.
Yep.
I wouldn't have traded Mason Marchment. I think Mason Marchment helps you in the playoffs when it counts.
There were a lot of teams interested in Mason Marchment.
Well, and that's why.
Yeah.
And then you have Jason Robertson, a big scoring winger, right? And now you're thinking about moving him? Are they trying to make their team worse?
Well, maybe the argument with Robertson is you make a great point about Marchment being a real playoff player. The only knock on Robertson has been postseason, maybe hasn't been as good as regular season. You know, the Mitchell Marner argument, basically.
Are we going to talk about Mitchell Marner?
Well, we are, as a matter of fact. It's the TSN Top 50 board.
Well, and that's good. But, like, Jason, again, I'm going back to what Scotty Bowman told me.
Yeah.
When you have high-end skill, you can't find these guys.
Right.
There's not a 7-Eleven hockey store where you go down the scoring left wing aisle and you go, okay, I'm going to go get a scoring left winger after I move my scoring left winger. They don't exist.
Yeah.
And when you have them and he's a homegrown player and he's 25 years old, like, I would be thinking twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times. I don't think it's a very smart move for them to be moving Jason Robertson.
Okay. We'll remember that if Jason Robertson moves in the next week. You won't be thrilled about it. Okay, I mentioned the top 50 board. Here it is. The top 5 still the exact same as it was the last time we talked about this. Mitchell Marner at the top, followed by the Panthers, Big 3, Nick Ehlers at number 4. We've talked so much about Marner, and we will continue to do that until he signs a new contract. You have a story from your days with Dallas, and I find this interesting because there's a lot of talk that Dallas might be interested in Mitch Marner. But you have a story from your days with Dallas that you think might fit what's happening with Mitch Marner right now.
You're foreshadowing. I like that. Like,
Yeah.
so now I got to deliver, right?
Yeah.
Just like Brett Hall delivered for the Dallas Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Brett Hall was the face of the St. Louis Blues. He was an all-star. He was a great player, Hart Trophy winner, big-time goal scorer. And the St. Louis Blues reached a point where they said, we can't win with Brett Hall. We can't do this. And it's like, okay, so now he becomes available. And we're sitting in Dallas going, we need a goal scorer. We need somebody that we think can help our team be on more of the right. And we were a good team, but what he could add to the. And so we went and really explored Brett Hall and then ultimately signed him. I can't begin to tell you how many people, unsolicited, Jay, came up and said, you'll never win with Brett Hall. You'll never win with Brett Hall. What's interesting is, I don't recall any person that was ready to tell us we could never win with Brett Hall that came back and said, we were wrong, you won with Brett Hall.
Right.
I think Mitch Marner's in exactly the same spot.
Right.
You know, it's been kind of this scarlet letter on Mitch Marner. You can't win with him. He's been a big, important player for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'll take my chances with Mitch Marner, just like we took our chances on Brett Hall. And I think that Mitch Marner can go to a team and help you win and be a really good, important player, just like Brett Hall. And I think that when I watch Mitch Marner play, he's been a two-time first-team All-Star right wing, Selke Trophy finalist. Where do you find these guys? You don't find them in the 7-Eleven, right wing first-team All-Star aisle, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, 7-Eleven getting a lot of play on this show. John Tavares, number 8 on the top 50 list, and our friend Pierre LeBrun also reporting over the weekend that Tavares and the Leafs are not close on a number at this point. We know Tavares wants to stay in Toronto. He's got a young family. It seems like the Leafs want to keep him. So play arbitrator here for us, Craig. What's a fair deal in your mind at this point?
He had 38 goals last year.
Yes.
I believe that if John Tavares hits the open market, he might be very surprised by what he's offered.
Yeah.
And I think that Steven Stamkos signed for $32 million over 4 years. I think on the open market, that's John Tavares.
I don't disagree.
So if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs and you're interested in John Tavares, either you're interested at a number close to that,
yeah,
or you walk away.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that John Tavares isn't interested, but you need to have value, and John Tavares has value. I don't think it's going to be an 8-year contract or a 5-year contract, but I'd be comfortable giving John Tavares a 4-year deal and understanding what it is and how you work with it. And if he does have that desire to stay in Toronto, where are you going to find these guys? Oh, yeah, back to the 7-Eleven Harvey store. Harvey's doesn't have on the board.
That's right.
I'm going to order the second line 38 goal scorer center.
Maybe they should. That'll be a special next month. Claude Giroux at number 19 on the list. Our friend Bruce Garriock says that the 37-year-old wants a deal in the $4 million a season range. As of right now, no deal's been reached. Should mention Giroux and Tavares, same age. Do you see Giroux staying in Ottawa?
Well, Pierre LeBrun and Claude Giroux are from the same town of Hearst, Ontario, right?
Ontario's
so
own.
I'm buying what Pierre's selling.
Yeah.
So Pierre said $4 million is what he's looking for?
That is what he's looking for.
In that neighborhood, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Ottawa Senators, what are you waiting for? That's a good contract for what he offers to your team. I mean, he had 50 points, just about 50 points last year.
Right.
That experience, you got a younger team. Claude Giroux helps your younger players.
Right.
Stevie Stayhouse, get it done.
Yeah. Well, and we should mention, I said it was Pierre who said it was actually Bruce Garriock.
Oh, Bruce Garriock.
Bruce reported it.
Okay.
So there you go.
Sorry, yeah,
Sorry, Bruce.
Yeah, sorry,
That's on
Bruce.
me.
But Pierre knows.
Yes, he does. Yeah, if we asked Pierre, I think he would have a pretty good inside track on that as well. This has been fun. You going to stick around all week, hang out with us?
Yeah, I like it. And what are we going to wear tomorrow night?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe I'll wear the fat tie. You wear the skinny one.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Although we're both skinny.
And then free agent frenzy. We're going to be eating Harvey's that day. I'm not going to be there. Are you excited? Frankie was so excited that you don't have to start at 8 a.m. You get to start at 11 a.m.
Well, free agency doesn't really legally open until 12 noon.
Right.
And so that's fine. And
that's never stopped us before, though.
I know, but Frankie, we got an hour pre-free agent run. Why are you not here? This is a big day for TSN, Free Agent Frenzy. Anyway, we can explore this later on in the week, and I'll drill down with you with some questions.
All I can say is I work nights.
So you'll be here on July 1st?
Yeah, I'll be later that evening. I'll show up.
We like to see you during the day, too.
With my Harveys in hand.